A frustrated homebuyer called me from out of state the other day. They said, I've been trying to buy a house. I've lost 3 contracts in a row. I ran across your YouTube channel. I'm looking for answers. What does it take to win? This is what I told him. Number 1, set yourself up to win. Number 2, use the winning formula. I'll explain that in a minute. Number 3, if there's heavy competition, there's 2 secret weapons you can use. This is how I broke it down, and I told him, I'm going to treat this like we're starting from scratch. Number 1, find a lender you can trust and who can get the job done. The best way to find one is to get a referral from somebody you know that's gone through a successful transaction recently. You need a lender who is nimble and responsive, and you need to get a pre-approval letter, not just a pre-qual letter. There's a difference. When you look for that top line number on the maximum amount you can afford, as you're searching for homes, set your criteria at about 10 to 15% less than that top line number. Gives you just a little bit of room to grow if you need to. Step number 2 is going to be hire a real estate agent, and I know this sounds self-serving, but I'm not trying to get you to hire me, so I'm not selling you anything. I'm just telling you, get a referral from somebody you know that's had a successful transaction recently. Working through a multiple offer situation is a complex deal, and the most important thing that an agent can help you do is keep the emotions out of it. That's really important. With all due respect to the new agents that are in this world, find somebody that's had some experience, that's been around a minute, that's done several of these, that is going to smooth out your journey so much. Wow. Number 3, when it comes to the house, if you're putting an offer in on a house, make sure it's the house, the one, the house of your dreams, or as close as you can get to it. And that it's got everything you need. The location, the school district you need, close to work, close to shopping, square footage is right, number of bedrooms and baths in the yard, whatever that might be, don't settle. And stick to your plan. If you've got X amount of dollars that you're willing to spend, don't jump over that because you feel like you're running out of time. Let me tell you why I'm pressing on this. I'm passionate about this. 44% of buyers in the last 2 years have had second thoughts after they bought their house because they felt pressured to buy because they're running out of time. Let me give you some gold standard advice. I'm asking you to trust me on this. Let the right house come to you. Wait for it. Be patient. I know that it's frustrating, but down the road you will hear yourself say, I am so glad that we waited for this house, the right house, instead of buying a house because we thought we were running out of time. I've got 15 years of experience that would prove that out to you. Trust me. So you've set yourself up to win. You've got the lender, you got the agent, and a house that you really like. By the way, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. But here's the winning formula. There's basically 2 types of offers, single and a multiple offer. Single is just you and the seller. Multiple, slightly different deal. Here's how it goes. Number 1, find out what's most important to the seller. Can't tell you the number of transactions that start and nobody ever asks the seller what they want. It may not be money. It could be a fast close or a slow close, or they might be afraid of the inspection, or they might think that they need to rent back the property. That means you close and they stay in it for a little bit to find a house. You need to find out what that is and fashion that into your offer. Number 2, in a multiple offer situation, the formula is usually pretty straightforward. If you offer more and ask for less than the other guy, you typically win. So that's what we're shooting for. Here's the winning formula. Submit your highest and best offer. Don't go crazy. Stick to your plan. Remember, we talked about that. But then the next thing you're going to do is offer a pass-fail inspection. You're able to have your inspection, but you're not asking the seller to fix anything. Here's the dirty little secret. Once you've gotten that far down the road, usually if there actually is something that needs to be addressed, the seller will take care of it rather than start the sale process for themselves all over again. Pay for your own title expenses. It's $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. It's not a ton. It's money, but it's not a ton. But you're showing the seller that you're really trying to work with them. Don't ask for a home warranty. Just don't. Then when it comes to time with the closing date, you've done your research, and if you've not been able to find anything out, ask the listing agent what they think is best for the seller in terms of closing date. And when it comes to the rent back, don't include that in your initial offer, but make it clear to the listing agent if they need to have a rent back, that you maybe make that available. Remember, the number 1 fear for sellers Number one is that they'll sell their house and have no place to go. So having that conversation may go a long way to having a seller work with you. That's a big deal. If you do those 5 things, you've gone a long way to getting that house. Here comes the 2 secret weapons. Secret weapon number 1, appraisal gap coverage. The truth is, prices have gone up so fast recently in this last year or so that appraisals are having a hard time keeping up. So imagine you have a contract for $400,000 and the appraisal comes in at $390,000. Appraisal gap coverage means that you'll cover that gap with cash to keep the seller whole. Understand you've got to have those resources, kind of obvious, but you've had that conversation with the lender, everything's copacetic, and you're good to go. Appraisal gap coverage, very powerful. Secret weapon number 2 is an escalation clause. Basically, it says, Mr. Seller, I'll give you X amount of dollars more than anybody else up to a certain amount. I'm going to say this about escalation clause. Use these with caution. It's very powerful, but if you get in trouble with it, if it's not written correctly, that's someplace that you don't want to go. Just make sure that you have a long conversation with your agent on what it is and how it works. Be sure to watch my other videos. I've done a ton on real estate. My name is Andy Elliott. I'm bringing you real estate in real life. Talk to you soon.